Today we're reacting to an ESPN debate focused on the conference championship matchups, breaking down what each team needs to do to win and why this weekend could define a lot of careers. It's one of those discussions where every small detail feels important. If you enjoy NFL reactions like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe.
Like, those are fighting words, right? Like now we're having this is a pejorative. Am I the only one who knows this?
I didn't get the memo. I still say what up, boss.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You're old. I would eliminate boss.
Yeah.
Like, buddy is normally used, like, to be a smart ass. Like, okay, buddy.
Right, that's what I mean.
Like, you know what I mean?
All right, pal.
I just like
all right, chief.
I just like the fact that you said you don't have to apologize to anybody.
No, I mean, in that particular case, there was sort of a run of apologies that we had.
You're like, I'm not apologizing to nobody.
I didn't feel sorry for anything at all.
All right,
conference championship weekend is upon us. We got 4 teams. We got 1 goal. Let's figure out how these games will be won. AFC side first. Bart, the Patriots will win Sunday if
Drake May plays a clean game. He's been hit 10 times, sacked 10 times, and I think Will Campbell can't hold up and they have to keep those tight ends in. Then I think that strengthens the field for Drake May, and I think that's when those turnovers can come into play. Yeah, they've had trouble protecting on the left side of the offensive line. We'll dive into that game a little more. Harry, how about the Broncos side? Denver will win the game if what?
The offense is balanced across the board. You have to be. You can't be one-dimensional going against this New England Patriots defense. I would also say you have to stay ahead of the chains. First and second down production, and then also manageable third downs. The supporting cast around Jarrett Stidham. You guys are going to have to be phenomenal and lift up that backup quarterback.
Yeah, because Nix has made a lot of big plays late in these games with his athleticism. All right, that's the AFC game. Let's go to the NFC. Peter, complete the sentence. The Rams will win Sunday night if
they can continue this magical road warrior run. They went into Carolina in weather, found a way to win. Went into Chicago in weather, found a way to win. Neither one of those challenges will be what awaits them at Lumen Field, which is an absolute hornet's nest to play in. That crowd is going to be lively. That crowd is going to be ready. And I will tell you, this road warrior run, it's rare, but if anyone can do it, it might be Matthew Stafford.
We saw this game on a Thursday night, not that long ago. Might have been the best game of the whole season. Lewis, how about the other side? The Seahawks will win Sunday night if
they can protect the football. They got to win the turnover differential. It means Sam Darnold, your decision-making has to be on point. And they have to turn around and hand this football off to Kenneth Walker III. Zach Charbonnet, you're out for the season. The run game has to play a role in this in terms of them protecting the football. And they better commit to slowing down that guy, Puka Nacua. No more of this free access stuff down the field. Unless you want to see him, go ahead and rack up about 250, 275 on you. I think the Chicago Bears learned when you go zero blitz, you better come down on Puka, especially if it's 3rd and 5 or less. Yeah. You've got to close the distance on this guy, or he's going to eat your. I don't understand it, Barton. Modern day defense, the amount of free access they give him wide receivers. Harry, you might be able to come back and play even now.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? With the way they do this kind of thing.
On film, and the last time these two teams played, all the free access and not jamming the receivers at the line of scrimmage. The things that I've seen versus this Rams offense this season are things that I see at the collegiate level, because we all know that they don't jam receivers. But, going into this matchup, the last time the thing that stood out to me, 17 receptions for 306 yards and 2.
Early on, I like how they keep things simple by saying it really comes down to quarterback play and protection. When they talk about Drake May needing a clean game and Denver needing balance, it feels very realistic. This is playoff football, and if you can't protect your QB or stay out of bad third downs, things fall apart fast.
Touchdowns. Taking advantage of the middle of the football field. Here you see Puka Nacua on a bender, lined up inside in the slot. Great job by Matthew Stafford hitting them. And then that yards after catch. Here you're going to see Xavier Smith. Matthew Stafford's going to buy time in the pocket. He's going to flow a little bit to the left side. But then this is going to be another post route in between the numbers that gets completed for an explosive play. They really took advantage of this the entire game. And then the last play was the one in overtime to Puka Nacua, where you had the tight end has a clear out and that big end cut coming behind it, out the back door for a touchdown. 17 receptions, I'll say again, 306 yards, 2 touchdowns. In between the numbers, they were able to complete and take advantage of against the Seahawks defense.
Those cover 2 and cover 4 beaters that are designed to put that hook curl defender in conflict, where they run somebody underneath him and then loop somebody in behind. You've got to be able to hit these guys at the line of scrimmage. You've got to slow them down and throw off the timing. If you don't, there's a reason why Matthew's thrown for 62,000 yards, man.
But that's,
you're making it too easy.
Well, they don't press the point if you want to get guys away, because they use so much shifts in motion. You get that yo-yo motion that play it starter, play you run here, run back. So the communications are bad. You got to start getting chips by your defensive ends. And stuff
so in that game, that Thursday night game, Stafford threw for over 450 yards, and Devontae Adams didn't even play in that game. So
how about that?
We'll see what they have on that side. We talked about Stafford earlier this morning, and obviously he's a huge player in this. But I think, Peter, you're a reporter by heart, and the story here is fascinating to me of Sam Darnold. And Bart made the point right at the beginning of the show. To this day, and we're probably 8 years removed from it, whenever people talk about Sam Darnold, they'll put up on a graphic the word ghosts. Like that stays with you. Those things stay with you in your career, that moment where he said he was seeing ghosts. This is his chance to erase that forever. He will go from being Sam Darnold, the guy who once saw ghosts, to Sam Darnold, the guy who led Seattle to the Super Bowl. He can completely rewrite the narrative of his career with a big performance on Sunday.
And do it by beating Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. You can't take anything away from him. If you were to look at a prize fight, these 2 games they've played already, and you break it down by quarter, Stafford would have won 7-0 the first 7 quarters of these 2 matchups. But in the 4th quarter and overtime, Sam Darnold came alive in that Week 16 game. You look at these numbers. He threw 5 interceptions, no touchdowns in the Week 5 game and the Week 16 game, through 3 quarters of the 2nd game. But then in the 4th quarter and overtime, not only did Clint Kubiak open up the offense with play action, they started doing a little razzle-dazzle. We saw an end around to Rashid Shaheed, and then Sam Darnold came alive. And since that game, Sam Darnold has been fine. Got the hurt, got the oblique. He looked great to that pass to JSN last week in the back of the end zone. Sam Darnold can rewrite his narrative, as Bart Scott so eloquently said to start this show, and he can do so by slaying one of the best coaches and best quarterbacks in the league.
Let me say this really quick, Greeny. I used this analogy, or I used this term yesterday on my radio show. You know how you have a hot fudge sundae, and the last 2 things that go on is the whipped cream and the cherry on top?
Yeah.
Okay, so the NFC Championship game from Sam Darnold is the whipped cream. Going to win the Super Bowl is the cherry on top. You do those 2 things, you have an opportunity to rewrite your own story. And no one else can basically tell you about the narrative of your career. This is his 5th team in the last 8 years, right? You were a 1st-round pick. You were a 3rd overall pick in 2018. You go win this game versus Sean McVay, like you alluded to, and Matthew Stafford, and then go on and win a Super Bowl, you write your own story and you change the narrative, Sam Darnold.
Because I think that almost all the good things he did last year in Minnesota, and there were so many, were kind of underdone.
Washed away.
Oh, yeah, underdone is the wrong word.
This part about the Rams and Seahawks is where it really gets interesting. The way they describe Lumen Field and how hard it is to win there makes you feel how big the moment is. And when they bring up Sam Darnold taking care of the football, it feels like that's the key. Not doing anything crazy, just playing smart and letting the team help you win.
By the bad performances at the very end, by the bad regular season finale against Detroit, and then the bad playoff game, and it almost seemed like the whole thing never happened, or it wasn't really meaningful. And now he comes and wins 14 games again, and people still have the questions. There was no one with more at stake, I think, on Sunday than Sam Darnold.
History is written by the winners, right? And he gets a chance to write his own narrative, and he can tell the story how he wants to tell it because he'll be victorious. And even if he, doesn't win the Super Bowl, the fact that he took Seattle back to the promised land, and I think this is America loves redemption stories, right? A comeback story, Cinderella man, so to speak. We got put him off for dead. Now he's not quite Geno Smith. We didn't write him off, and he didn't write back. We just totally forgot about him, right? And now he reappears. And if I say again, if you're Minnesota, you got to be kicking yourself. Right? Because he just needed somebody to stand on the table and say, I believe in you. And that's sometimes all we need. And he's been able to back up and make Seattle seem like they're right and make Minnesota seem like they had it wrong.
2 things. One, Sam found the perfect system for him, going all the way back to when he signed with San Francisco. Even though, they already had Brock Purdy there. He found the right system for him. When you talk to Sam now, he is in a sweet spot in his life. He said this is the first city of all the cities that he has played in his career that he bought a home, which tells you something. He feels at home here. So when you're talking about people putting their arms around him and really embracing him, he feels that way in Seattle. And the last thing I'm going to say about him is this. He does not have to be the reason why they win this game.
Right.
Just don't be the reason why they lose it. And if he does that, he doesn't have to have a 400-yard passing game. He doesn't have to match Matthew throw for throw. He just needs to take care of the football. This is such a well-rounded team. When we saw him earlier in the season, and you saw how they played just last week, they look unstoppable. He just needs to play steady, and everything will go just fine.
Because Lewis and I did that game. We did a Houston Texans versus Seattle Monday Night Football game, and Sam was amazing in the production meeting, also saying he's engaged. It's a different part of his life. Like, he's 28 years old, and he feels good. Cooper Kupp was almost disregarded by the Rams because they went and they upgraded with Devontae Adams. Cooper Kupp's on the field. Ernest Jones was a Super Bowl hero for the Rams. He was pushed aside. He plays for Seattle. It's not just Sam Darnold. There are a lot of people in that Seattle locker room who are looking to get their story right and be the ones on top in this one.
When you look at the matchup, it is more ways for the Rams to lose than it is for Seattle to lose, because we don't talk about their inefficiency and the fact that their special teams are horrible. And we don't talk about their secondary. Bad secondary, bad special teams. When you look at the Seattle Seahawks, they're a balanced, well-rounded team that if they play together as a team, they just don't have to lose it.
All right, Joe Fortenbaugh, our betting expert, is with us here today. A couple of best bets coming out of this one. The Seahawks are a slim favorite at home in the NFC Championship game. What are you looking at?
We looked at Seattle -2.5. I hate the spot for the Rams. How much gas is in the tank, right? You've played 7 road games in your last 9 weeks. You went to overtime last week, and the week before that, you needed everything in the book to get past Carolina. What I want you to also focus on is another bet you can make. It's called a team total, right? How many points does Seattle score in this game? That's all we're asking. The number's set at 23.5. I think that's low. I think they reached 24 points. Reason it's low, we saw the Rams last week give up just 17 to the Bears. So people see that number and they think great defensive effort. They gave up 417 yards in that game. And if a couple 4th downs go the other way, Chicago scoring more points and this number ends up being higher, right? That's what you want to look at. Last 8 weeks, here's what the Rams defense has given up. 31, 17, 34, 38, 27, 20, 31, and 17. And again, that 17 would have been higher if the Bears had converted a few 4th downs.
Yeah, it comes in negative temperatures. I think that's very interesting. The Rams defense fell off a table, like through week 12.
Week 13 is exactly when it started.
They were giving up. We had the full screen the other day. They were giving up like 16 points a game. Since then, they're giving up 26 points a game. Something has changed. We'll see if Darnold and company can take advantage of it. That's the NFC side. On the AFC side, will Drake May and the Patriots?
Overall, this debate does a great job showing how much is at stake in these championship games. It's not just about who's better on paper, but about confidence, mistakes, and who can handle the pressure. Especially with someone like Sam Darnold, this feels bigger than football. It's about proving people wrong. No matter how it ends, these games are going to shape how we talk about these players and teams for years. Let me know who you're trusting more this weekend and why. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more NFL reactions like this.